Webcasting from north central Wisconsin, I'm Jonathan Switzer, and this is the Roboblog Chronicles for the last week of July 2008. So as anybody with an internet connection, which would be you, since you are watching this over the magic of the internet, knows, San Diego Comic-Con was this past weekend, and most of the interesting stuff from San Diego was basically at the Toynami booth, because the Robotech panel was the typical Tommy and Steve show, where they sort of get into a little bit of the history of the franchise, and then sort of tell about different coming attractions and stuff, which at this point is basically we have a development thing at Warner's, Tobey Maguire's attached, these producers are attached, this writer's attached, and we can't tell you anymore because the Warner goons, of course, this being San Diego, are out there, and if there is even anything else to tell, if we told it, they would kick our asses. I think that was basically the way it went. And then Steve Yeun wore a fish hat, and so that was funny. But anyway, so all the interesting stuff was at the Toynami booth, where they showed off 1/100th Battle Pod that's being released under the Macross banner, and some newly sculpted heads for the 155th Valkyries that are being marketed under the Robotech banner, and apparently the lavender Maya Sterling Skull 1 is actually coming out in December. Okay, I will believe it when I see the Masterpiece Collection box sitting at a retail location, or in my mailbox, one or the other. And I will believe it then, because this is Toynami, and with Toynami release dates, they're kind of wobbly things. They're kind of wobbly. They kind of they come and they go, and then nothing shows up, and you're just like, oh, that thing was supposed to be out by now. No, it's not out yet. It's never coming out. It will perpetually be in a state of, here, look at it again at a convention. It's in a glass case. It could even be, some sort of fancy pants hologram, It might not actually exist. Because you will never touch it. It's gonna be in the glass case, protected. But they showed off the 4 different colors of beta fires. I must say the shadow beta looks very sharp, very, very, very cool looking. But I just don't have room for betas right now. I'm crammed into a much smaller space than I'm used to, and don't have room to even display all the stuff I own right now. So no, kind of sucks. If the beta came out a while ago, I would own a beta, and then I'd have to find a space for it. But no, I think they've lost this sale for the foreseeable future. The really disappointing thing to me was finding out that Scott Bernard they've been showing off for like 3 or 4 years now is not going to be produced. Instead, they're just going to crank out the Beagle one and call it a masterpiece. That's kind of disappointing, to be perfectly honest. They've been promising us that particular thing for so many years now, and then something newer and cooler and shinier comes along. They're like, we'll market and produce that one instead. I think we like it better than our homegrown one. Yeah, I think so. Kind of sad, actually. I mean, it's a sunk cost. They've paid for the development of it. They paid for the different prototypes, and now they're just sort of like, better ones have come out. We'll market the better ones. Pretty much all of them except CMs really are going to be coming out over here, which is okay, because I really don't like the way the CMs one looks. It's got like a big seam down the chest, doesn't it? Yeah. Kind of looking, really. I was reflecting on the movie in development last week, right after seeing The Dark Knight, and before that, Hellboy. Those are 2 movies. Those are 2 franchise comic book, cartoon character movies where I think they really hit the feel of the material on the head. That I think the people involved all really get it. With The Dark Knight, they did such a brilliant job, setting Batman in the real world there. Much better, I would say, than in Batman Begins, even, which had a few, big jumps to make here and there. The ridiculousness of Ra's al Ghul's plan with the water or whatever, and the sequence with Gordon and the Batmobile and everything. Those things really, dragged me kicking and screaming out of the reality of that movie. Whereas The Dark Knight has nothing like that. It is very firmly set in something resembling the real world. And on top of that, it's just with this movie, with this particular script, with this particular take on things, I think they really, really just nailed, both Batman and the Joker. And Hellboy, of course, Guillermo del Toro, that dude gets Hellboy. That dude gets it. That dude, really understand, he and his cohorts, really understand the character and really understand the world that, Mignola built and everything. Those are two outstanding examples of, genre, big budget genre movies done right. And then that got me thinking about Transformers, last year's Transformers movie, where Michael Bay does not get and does not want to get the Transformers. He wants to blow stuff up and, shake hands and pat the backs of the military. And, have a hot girl in there and whatever. And, shake the camera around, like so that, you can't actually see what's going on. I mean, it's depressing. It really is. And... that dichotomy right there, that, Bay on the one hand, and then, Nolan and Del Toro on the other hand, it just got me thinking really long and really hard about the future of Robotech, especially as regards the Warner movie. And the conclusion I reached was, all these dribs and drabs of information can keep on coming out. Until we know who the director is, we have absolutely no idea what we're going to be getting. We have no idea what we'll be dealing with. We need to get a director, and then we need to take that director and look him up on IMDb and see what sort of crap he's made. And even more than production stills and all that other trickled out nonsense that comes out in advance of a film these days. Just find out who that director is and what he has done before should give us an impression of, what kind of a Robotech movie we'll be getting. Will it be a respectful Robotech movie, like The Dark Knight is to Batman, like the Golden Army is to Hellboy franchise? Or will it be something that misses the core appeal of the universe? Not just the concept, but the universe behind that concept, like the Transformers movie did. Oh no. These are the things that keep me up at night. No, not really. Much more important things like getting a job and crap, keep me up at night. This, on the other hand, this is the sort of thing that really, occupies my mind, like, say, when I'm in the bathroom and such. In the shower, those times. Anyway, that's all for today. This is your old pal, Captain JLS, signing off.